right and left hemispheres of the human brain. In this video, we'll discuss the difference between the two hemispheres, their strengths, and how they work together. First, let's talk about the difference between the right and left hemispheres. The brain is divided into two hemispheres, each of which is responsible for different functions. The left hemisphere is often referred to as the logical or analytical side of the brain, while the right hemisphere is often called the creative or artistic side. The left hemisphere is responsible for language, logic, and analytical thinking. It is the side of the brain that is used for problem-solving, mathematics, and reasoning. The left hemisphere is also responsible for controlling the right side of the body. On the other hand, the right hemisphere is responsible for creativity, intuition, and artistic abilities. It is the side of the brain that is used for spatial awareness, visual imagery, and music. The right hemisphere is also responsible for controlling the left side of the body. Now that we know the difference between the two hemispheres, let's discuss their strengths. The left hemisphere is strong in language and analytical thinking. People with strong left brain characteristics tend to be logical, detail-oriented, and good at solving problems. They are often able to think critically and make decisions based on facts and data. Additionally, people with strong left brain characteristics are often good at planning, organizing, and managing tasks. The right hemisphere is strong in creativity and artistic abilities. People with strong right brain characteristics tend to be imaginative, intuitive, and good at visualizing ideas. They are often able to see the big picture and think outside of the box. Additionally, people with strong right brain characteristics are often good at expressing themselves through art, music, and other creative endeavors. It's important to note that everyone uses both hemispheres of the brain, but we tend to have a dominant side. Some people may have a more dominant left brain, while others may have a more dominant right brain. It's also important to note that our dominant side may change depending on the task we are performing. For example, someone who is good at math may be using their left brain while solving a problem, but when they are painting a picture, they may be using their right brain. So, how do the two hemispheres work together? While the left and right hemispheres are responsible for different functions, they work together to help us perform a wide range of tasks. For example, when we are reading a book, the left hemisphere is responsible for processing the words and understanding their meaning, while the right hemisphere is responsible for visualizing the scene and creating a mental image of what we are reading. Similarly, when we are listening to music, the left hemisphere is responsible for processing the lyrics and understanding their meaning, while the right hemisphere is responsible for processing the melody and creating an emotional response to the music. It's also important to note that the brain is incredibly adaptable and can reorganize itself to compensate for damage or injury. For example, if someone suffers a stroke that damages the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere may be able to take over some of its functions, allowing the person to continue performing certain tasks. In conclusion, the right and left hemispheres of the human brain are responsible for different functions and have different strengths. The left hemisphere is strong in language and analytical thinking, while the right hemisphere is strong in creativity and artistic abilities. While the two hemispheres work together to help us perform a wide range of tasks, we tend to have a dominant side, which may change depending on the task we are performing. If you're interested in learning more about the brain and its functions, there are many resources available to explore, such as books, online courses, and documentaries. Understanding the difference between the right and left hemispheres of the brain can also help us to better understand ourselves and others. For example, if you are someone who is naturally more left brain dominant, you may struggle with creative tasks, but excel in logical and analytical tasks. On the other hand, if you are someone who is naturally more right brain dominant, you may struggle with analytical tasks, but excel in creative and artistic tasks. It's also important to note that there is a common misconception that people are either left-brained or right-brained, but the reality is that the brain is much more complex than that. While we may have a dominant side, both hemispheres work together to help us perform tasks and solve problems. One way to improve the functioning of both hemispheres of the brain is through brain training exercises. These exercises can help to improve memory, cognitive abilities, and overall brain health. Some examples of brain training exercises include puzzles, memory games, and brain teasers. In addition to brain training exercises, There are also many lifestyle factors that can influence the functioning of the brain. Getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and exercising regularly can all help to improve brain function and overall cognitive health. In conclusion, the right and left hemispheres of the brain are responsible for different functions and have different strengths. While the left hemisphere is strong in language and analytical thinking, and the right hemisphere is strong in creativity and artistic abilities, both hemispheres work together to help us perform a wide range of tasks. By understanding the strengths of each hemisphere and improving our overall brain health, we can become more well-rounded individuals and improve our cognitive abilities. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more educational content.